Hi, I'm Greg Denny, the author and creator of the 5 Fundamental Factors for a Fantastic Life. Now, I really do live an awesome life, and I'm not saying that to be in your face or to boast or, say, ha, I got it. I'm deeply grateful for a wonderful life, and I want to make it really clear that this was not the life I was born to. With God's help and the help of some really awesome people, I built my life from the ground up, one epic brick at a time, and you can too. And I believe an epic life is built on a tripod of 3 things: passion, priorities, and perspective. Number 1, passion. Passion is defined as an enthusiasm, an excitement, something that just lights your fire. And in this case, it's a passion for life. So I have to ask you, are you really alive? Are you really truly happy and excited about your life? I constantly say and sincerely believe, if you don't get out of bed excited about your life, then something needs to change. There's no reason that you can't wake up almost every single day excited to be alive and passionate about what you're going to do. I learned this cool word, it's elan. Elan means to live with style and energy and enthusiasm, right? And we need to live like that, right? With this excitement and the style, this lifestyle design where we're creating the life we want to live and we're excited about it. So I want to ask you to do a little exercise. What's your predominant emotion? If you were to take a pie chart and divide it up, what's the emotion that you feel most of the time? Is it frustration, anger, anxiety, discontentedness, or just blah? A lot of people, their predominant emotion in life is just blah, just going through the motions of a humdrum existence. And it doesn't have to be like that, right? And it wasn't for me. If you don't know my story, man, I grew up in a broken home. I was out on my own at an early age, and I struggled. Those were dark times, and I struggled with depression and desperation and hurt and sorrow and bitterness, and I hated it, and I didn't want to keep living like that. And I didn't want to keep struggling through life and dreading consciousness, another day and another lonely, miserable darkness. I hated that, and so I had to change. And I realized if anything was going to change, I had to change. Nothing would get better until I did. And I had to crawl out of that and build my life. And life will be exactly what we make of it, and we have to make it with passion. So find out what great things you're passionate about. Don't be passionate about dumb things, because that won't bring you the rewards you want. Get passionate about things that matter. I've been reading these great history books lately, and it's really given me this big, long time perspective. Life flies by. Life just passes like that. And what most people ask when they get to the end is, did my life matter? Did I live with passion, and specifically passion about something that actually mattered, that was meaningful? So find your meaningful passion and start living it today. Now, I also want to challenge you to measure the other important roles in your life with passion. Right? Are you still passionate about your relationships? Your marriage, for example. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your passion in your marriage? After a long day at work and you get home, where are you? You a 3, a 4? Are you an 8? And I don't want you to fake it. I don't want you to pretend to be an 8. I want you to be an 8. I want you to be passionate. I want you to still get giddy about going out with your spouse. Right? Be passionate in your marriage. How are your passions in parenting? This is a huge one. Are you in the game? Are you there? Are you present? Are you passionate about being a great parent? Or are you just kind of, changing diapers, feeding kids, just running errands, driving them here and there, buying them new stuff? You just kind of worn out? Or are you still passionate about parenting? How about health and fitness and eating well? Are you passionate about keeping your body in a great condition? Are you passionate about eating great, healthy food? Are you passionate about exercise and maybe a competitive sport or something you really enjoy to do? Get passionate about fitness again. How's your level of passion in your relationship with God? Do you wake up longing to have a close relationship with your Father in heaven? Are you passionate about your spirituality and finding and maintaining inner peace? Right? And this is great. It's just across the board. Measure yourself consistently and use a scale if that helps. How am I doing in passion in all these important areas of my life? And I promise you, passion will change your life. It will light you up. Passionate people are energetic people. They're enthusiastic people. And that spreads. It's amazing. You show up with passion. You're the most passionate person in the room and the most passionate person on the team, the most passionate person in your family. You're going to raise and lift others. You're just going to be a light that people will be drawn to, and you're going to do your best work, and you're going to help get done the things that need to get done at a great level. So be passionate in every role, and life will be epic. The second leg on this epic life tripod is priorities. Now, I get to spend most of my time with my wife and my children. We have 6 kids. We're living here in beautiful Costa Rica. We spend tons of time traveling, having incredible experiences. We were just out snorkeling and fishing. You know, we swim in tropical waterfalls, went on a surfing tour. We get to have all these great experiences, not because we're lucky, or not because, you know, that just kind of fell on our laps, but because we're intentional and we're prioritized. That's one of the greatest things I learned when I was climbing out of the loneliness and the hurt of living on my own and wanting to build a life. I realized that I had to prioritize my life, that I had to put the most important things first. And it's not just talk. I can't just say, oh yeah, those are my priorities, but I actually have to live according to my priorities. Most people don't even have a written list of their highest priorities. Those who do, you know, rarely have them in order and live and act accordingly. We sometimes think about it, we sometimes talk about it, but very few say, yeah, these are my top priorities and this is my plan to implement that. So I challenge you to do that. Prioritize your life. Give it the time and attention, and you've got to have the discipline to put boundaries in place and say, you know what, no, sorry, I won't work those days, and I won't work past this time. And yes, I will be with my spouse and with my children on those important days and those important times. And we learn to say no, and we learn to sacrifice other things because of our top priorities. And this will bring you the richest rewards in life. You want an epic life? Then prioritize it. Put first things first and do not make exceptions to those rules, and your life will fit into place. And you put everything in order, and you know, some of the things will get neglected, but make sure it's the things that are lower on the list that are getting neglected. And then everything will fit, I promise. It seems counterintuitive that if I spend so much time doing that, I won't be able to do the other stuff. What matters will get done. And that's the most important part of having a prioritized life. What matters will get done. So prioritize your life today. Sit down with your spouse, with your children, write out your highest priorities and a plan to live accordingly. The third leg on this tripod for an epic life is perspective. And I think you'd agree with me that losing perspective can bring about so much misery and so many problems. And if we blow things out of proportion, we turn a little molehill of a problem into a big mountain, and a little obstacle now becomes this gigantic barrier. We overreact to a difficult situation or a setback or something that someone said or did. You know, if we lose perspective in life, oh, you just feel like life is caving in on you and you want to throw in the towel. But if we maintain perspective, I think you'll also agree with me that it's one of the greatest keys to success, to see clearly and to keep things in their proper place. That's one of the things I've had to do in life, and it helped me so much create an epic life of maintaining perspective. And whenever things didn't work out, whenever there were failures, whenever plans didn't go as we thought they would, anytime there's been any kind of trial or struggle or turmoil, if we'll remember what matters most and, you know, compare in a helpful way to realize, hey, wait a minute, it's really not that bad. I can outgrow this, I can overcome this. Let me share a story that really helps. Scott Neeson was the president of 20th Century Fox International, and he was over these big blockbuster movies. Very successful guy, had a big mansion and a yacht and the Porsche and the whole 9 yards. Well, he was standing one day in a garbage dump in Cambodia, and there was people scavenging through the garbage dump, even little children, trying to make $1 a day if they were lucky to try to survive. And he was standing there, thinking about what to do to try to make a difference, try to help these families. And he got a phone call from one of his clients who was waiting for a Gulfstream 4, this private jet, and was just infuriated because they couldn't find a specific item on board, and specifically said, my life was not meant to be this difficult. Refusing to get on this private jet, everything arranged for him, and one item was not on board. And Scott was standing there in the garbage dump, ankle deep in this garbage, people scavenging for a mere existence, while he's hearing this person say that. And he says, I just knew right then that I was doing the right thing. So he sold his mansion, he sold his yacht, his Porsche, and he dedicated his life to helping these families in Cambodia. And it's lessons like that, it's perspective like that, that you just go, come on, come on. It's really not that bad. And I love to read. I read voraciously. I read about things that happened anciently, and things that happened in later history, even slave trade, and those reminders. And then I love to travel. We love to be involved in humanitarian work, and we go visit with some of the poorest families in the world in their teeny little shacks with their whole family living in a 10 by 10 metal hut. And I think, how could I ever complain? And when I visited the leprosy colonies in India and saw that the people had lost limbs, I was there the day they had to tell this man he had got an abscess in his ankle, and they had to amputate his other leg, and he's missing limbs. And so it brings you that perspective of, I have nothing to complain about. And never has there been whining or complaining ever helped a situation. And so I can remember to keep perspective, remembering what matters most, remembering that I can always outgrow my trials, and that life can be fantastic, life can be epic, if I will maintain perspective. So I challenge you to do that. Pick a few things that are just an immediate go-to. Stories, maybe, examples, where if you catch yourself maybe getting into some negative thinking habits, you immediately think of that, and it brings you back to a big perspective. It's like climbing up these volcanoes that I've hiked. The higher you get, the bigger your perspective, and you get to see clearly and see things as they really are. And once you begin to do that and you develop that habit of maintaining awesome perspective, life gets so much more epic. As always, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Visit me at gregdenning.com. Enter your name and email for inspiration and motivation and free trainings. And share this video with people. Let's inspire others. Let's encourage them to live an epic life by implementing this tripod: passion, priorities, and perspective. Reach up.